I don't see any eyes. Must be totally subterranean. And those tentacles.
You know, I think they shoot right out of its mouth. And they hook you and pull you right in.
Graboids! That's a graboid!
Hey, wake up! Now look, you see they're headed right for us. They trapped Edgar here, grabbed old Fred right here. Now this valley is just one long smorgasbord.
I found the ass end!
Is there some higher force at work here? I mean, are we asking too much of life?
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema, your deep dive into cult classics, horror, sci-fi movies. Warning, spoilers ahead. I am Art Hennessy in San Diego, California.
And I'm Erik Ronas. I've got nothing, Art, because there's no great accents in this. And I was just going to start like this and go, you know what? I'm real tired of this job podcasting, and I think there's something better out there. Don't you think there's something better out there for us, Art?
See, Erik, that's the problem. You're not thinking about today. You're thinking about 2 days forward.
Today. I'm thinking about Wednesday. No one's going to know what we're talking about unless they see your awesome
our episode art.
Your episode art, yes. That Art does, everybody. The art is done by Art. I sit here with my thumb in my butt, and Art does all the work. So, yay, Art.
But your opening, for those familiar with the movie, would know, Erik, that we are talking this week about the movie Tremors. Came out in 1990, directed by Ron Underwood, starring Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, Victor Wong, Reba McEntire, and Michael Gross as Burt Gummer.
Yes. And you said, I guess we have to, there's what are we calling it? An award or a?
We have an award.
Yes. Ding,
this
ding,
week.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding. We'll have the crowd applaud.
Yes.
I'll put that in.
I'll do it for you.
Yes, we have a popcorn bucket award
Yay.
for somebody that we have mentioned and talked about twice on our podcast. And that goes to this week, Victor Wong.
Yes.
Victor Wong, who we talked about on our podcast episode about Big Trouble in Little China, where he played the mystic Egg Shen. Yes.
So technically, we talked about him once. So now we're going to talk about him again. Because
we're going to talk about him again here.
Which I forgot, Art. And when I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, Egg Shen, he opened up a shop.
That's what I thought.
He just moved out to the desert and opened up a shop.
That's right. In perfection. Yeah. So our popcorn bucket award for him. And so, yes, this movie, 1990, Erik, came out. I saw it in theaters, and I remember kind of brushing it off. I didn't really think it was any great shakes.
Oh, wow. Nothing resounded with you in it? No. Does that work?
Very good.
You didn't get any good vibes from it?
No, I really didn't. But in my defense, I'll say that was 1990. I was sort of nearing the end of college, and I was full into my transformation into sort of a cinematic film douchebag, pretentious.
See, I never had that. I never had that.
I was full. I mean, I'm going to see screenings at the Brattle Theater and the.
Wow! If anybody's not stalking you, Art, on anything, that they should know that you no longer wear that little bow tie and the glasses, little tweed jacket. I
was heading in that direction. So even though obviously you know my lifelong love of horror, this one I think I can remember. I was like,
yeah, well, you like everyone else, Art, because it didn't spawn any interest after that. It just was the one movie. It didn't almost have a reboot on Sci-Fi as a series. Nothing like that. This kind of just went downhill. It didn't when it first came out. Yes, Art. They didn't. People like, I don't know really. But now it's like 7. It's almost 8 points for the not critics, but on IMDb, audience.
Mm-hmm.
So they love it.
Yeah,
they love it.
I mean, Rick, this has spawned So many so many sequels.
And I will point out, now's the time to tell everybody, if you haven't seen Tremors, then see Tremors. That's it. That's where I'm stopping you. Tremors, you're done. You're done. Just move on to something else. Please. Something. My daughter's here.
Okay.
There's your cameo. Hi. So,
Hi.
have you ever seen the movie Tremors?
No.
Oh, do you know who Fred Ward is? Do you know who Kevin Bacon is?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I've
God.
heard of the Kevin Bacon.
Tremors. Have you ever seen a monster like that? There you go. I'm showing her a visual.
That's cool.
Yeah, Tremors. So, do you realize that Tremors is a movie that spawned like 6 freaking sequels and almost a TV show?
There for that.
Well, there you go.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, there you go. I guess Tremors has died somewhere in the 23-year-old crowd.
Yeah.
Doesn't know about Fred Ward.
Fred Ward, who
Yeah.
sadly passed away a couple of years ago.
Sadly, because normally people just live on art forever. No, stop it. All right. So yeah, Tremors.
Mm-hmm.
Tremors, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, Tremors, it didn't do that great when it came out, much to Kevin Bacon's
Oh, boo-hoo,
disappointment.
Kevin Bacon. Boo-hoo.
But it did live on. Like you said, the sequels have built quite a big franchise for it. Most of them on DVD and then on streaming. Word is there could be another one coming in the future, Eric. So
No.
yes.
Yeah,
But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about
Gross,
Tremors.
right? Michael Gross still alive.
As long as Michael Gross is still alive.
As long as
there's
I
hope.
live.
But we're here to talk about Tremors.
Okay, Tremors,
1990.
And I'm a big monster fan. I love monsters. I love this monster. This monster does it for me.
Well, it came about. It's so funny, Eric. You often mention, you're like, isn't it funny that they made this movie and did they have any idea it would spawn all these sequels, all these things? But it came up from a simple idea. One of the screenwriters, he had been working with the military and he was up on a rock out in the desert and just had this little idea. Wouldn't it be interesting if there was something under the sand there that wouldn't let me off this rock? Just one day, just had that idea. And he said, I'm going to file that away.
That's how it works, Art. As I adjust my seat. There we go. Yeah, file it away, Art.
Yeah. And then he had his first big hit, Eric, him and his screenwriting partner. They had a big hit before Tremors.
Mary Poppins. No, that's too early.
Does the name Johnny Five mean anything to you?
Johnny Five? No.
Short Circuit was the movie that they...
Oh, Five is
wrote
alive.
before.
Oh, great. Now I'll be doing that through the whole podcast. No, disassemble.
Yeah.
No.
They wrote the movie Short Circuit, and then he came back around to this idea that he had for this horror movie. The screenwriters were S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, and they got it into the studios. Studios were up for it. They auditioned a bunch of actors, and Kevin Bacon is in this. Now, Eric, we should talk just briefly. Kevin Bacon, the idea I would have of this, right, in my memory would be Kevin Bacon was probably the reason this movie got made. But that isn't true, where he was in his career, apparently.
Nope. He was just came off of Footloose. So if he was really doing well, this would have been Tremors the musical, right? There's something under the ground. It's coming after everybody. Look around. And they got to dance. They got to use dance to keep the monsters from attacking. Everybody dance. They're all...
Well, I guess they put him in a small town again here.
Yeah, there you go. Small
there
town.
you go. Yeah, but
Beautiful hair. His goddamn beautiful hair. Jesus.
oh my
God, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon.
the desert air does great for his hair. I will tell you.
God.
Like, it is amazing in this movie. It's amazing in all his movies, but I will tell you, I thought he was a bigger star at this point, but when you hear him interviewed, he considers this a low point in his career. He considers that right before doing Tremors, he kind of had to do Tremors in a way because it had a bunch of flops right before this.
I don't even know what the flops would be, Art.
Well,
all I know is Footloose.
Footloose.
I was like,
but then
who's this guy?
But then I'll throw
pretty
some
cool.
titles out to you, Eric. So you have Footloose, but then you have She's Having a Baby.
I
Remember?
liked She's Having a Baby.
I did too, but it
I
wasn't.
quote that movie all the time.
She's Having a Baby, right? He Said, She Said.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
that was along those. Yeah, that was okay.
Quicksilver.
Oh,
See what I
oh,
mean? Like we're starting to get it.
oh.
And so suddenly he was not doing so well. And he took this movie and he says he remembers distinctly saying to his wife, Ira Sedgwick, she's pregnant with their child at this time.
Okay.
He actually
TMI,
broke
thank
down.
you. Thanks a lot.
Broke down and cried and said, "This is what it's come to. I'm doing a movie about underground work."
Boo-hoo, Kevin Bacon. Boo-hoo. About that.
Well, Tremors didn't do that great at the box office when it came out. And Kevin Bacon said, I tried something, and now this is really the end. And it is interesting.
It wasn't, you Debbie Downer. It wasn't his end at all.
No, but I will say, Eric, the interesting thing is, just to finish up on Kevin Bacon here, is he then said to himself, okay, the deal is, if I want to work on really good movies with really good directors at this point, I got to do supporting roles. I gotta be
absolutely
the color in the movie. And so he just shifted his whole thing to stop trying to be the lead. And so he did like JFK, A Few Good Men, like think about him in all of those roles. And it kind of brought his career back to a place where he was just so regularly working. Yeah. So
you can tell everyone that Art does no homework on stuff, because if you just joined us, this is the Kevin Bacon podcast. We're talking about Kevin Bacon and Kevin Bacon's career. And I'm very proud of you, though, for not talking about Kevin Bacon's size of his member. So good for you. Because
doesn't feature in this movie, but
feature.
But
no,
it's close.
I just wanted to talk about it for a second.
We get close.
We don't see any. Give me a
actually,
break.
Eric. Could you think of the whole movie as a metaphor for?
Yes, there you go. Tremors, the Kevin Bacon story.
Let's start, because we can get into everything else as we're going. Let's start 20 minutes into the podcast.
Oh.
All right. I apologize. I had to scene set Kevin Bacon. I like Kevin Bacon.
Oh, you're still talking about Kevin Bacon. I'm going to call him right now. He's on my phone.
Okay, let's start the movie, Eric.
Okay.
We open
with Kevin Bacon.
With Kevin Bacon. I'm happy to start the movie, Eric, with Kevin Bacon peeing off a cliff. Peeing off a cliff in the desert.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He does a little shake, does the zip up.
Yeah, because movie has time for this. So here we go.
It does. And the podcast has time for it.
It sure does. It sure does, Kevin.
Does it have time to talk about him picking a wedgie out of his butt as he walks away?
Yeah, and looking right at his belt buckle, his beautiful belt buckle and cowboy hat.
And I know you noticed the T-shirt. You clocked that tank top, I'm sure,
he's
Eric.
already
I know
he's final girl in it already. It's already dirty. It's like he's been through it already. Jason's already had him up against the tree, but he got away.
He's got that cowboy hat. He's like, he looks, I mean, Kevin Bacon looks great in the movie. And
who?
And Kevin Bacon's in
this.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
But there's another actor.
There's another actor.
There's going to be another actor in this movie.
Got to be in the truck.
In the truck, they're parked on, out on the desert on the cliff, and there's somebody sleeping in the back of the truck there.
Yeah, we'll point out he's at a cliff. You know those? It's like a Grand Canyon style cliff there that he's urinated on.
Take note of where we are at the opening of the movie.
Yes, because we see finally where the urine lands at the end of the film. That's right.
I didn't notice the first time I watched it.
Oh, yeah, you got to look for the urine on the armadillo. Stop it. See, it was worth it. Fred Ward is in the back of the truck.
Fred Ward's a great character actor. I love Fred Ward. Obviously, he's one of those guys they say makes every movie better when he's in it.
Yep, but we've never seen his penis. So there you go.
Fred Ward is there, and so we meet these two guys. It's Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward. It's Val and Earl are these two guys.
Yep.
And they're handymen.
Yeah, they're just arguing about who made breakfast last time, and you can tell these are just people who have no money No two sticks to rub together or whatever it is.
Yeah. But Kevin Bacon wakes him up, and Fred Ward wakes up and says, "It could have been a stampede." Also, we should make a note of this. Could have been a stampede coming. And Kevin Bacon says, "What's a stampede? How many do you need for a stampede? 3 or less?"
He wakes him with stampede. Yes.
Yeah, he wakes him with stampede. Yeah.
But I think that's important. Stampede is important.
Yes.
And rock, paper, scissors important. Always have to decide who's going to do what with rock, paper, scissors. And Kevin Bacon always wins, apparently, because he's Kevin Bacon. And they just hate their jobs, right? They don't
he loses.
Does he lose?
He loses every time.
No, I thought he won and had to
No,
make
Val on this one, Val has paper and Earl has scissors. So
okay, good. So he loses every time. Sorry. I was just thinking about Kevin Bacon too much. I thought he's a winner.
And then we're seeing what these guys, they drive around their janky truck. They do odd jobs out in the middle of nowhere. And we get a great sequence where they're fixing up like a barbed wire fence. And Val is hammering. They didn't mean for that to happen, but it took him a million swings of that hammer to nail in the barbed wire.
Yeah, I think he missed it every time except for the 8th one. He was like, team. Hammering's hard, everybody.
And he walks off, Val walks off, and Earl, it's almost like you call it sometimes, it's almost a fourth wall break, where Earl just smiles about the fact that he just took 8 swings to do that nail in.
Yeah. Fred Ward is great in this.
It really endears you to these two right away, I have to say. You like their banter. They got these accents. I don't know, they're Texas-y accents.
Yeah, and they're nice guys. They're nice guys just trying to live the dream and failing miserably. So they got to do odd jobs, like you said. So today's garbage day, apparently. But they also find out that there's a new seismologist that's in the area that's taking over for the old one. Like seismology is very important in this area, I guess. And they realize it's a girl.
Yes.
And so Kevin Bacon, who has aspirations of being with the perfect woman, starts describing what he thinks she should be like, you know? And I think that's so funny when it's like, supposed to be a girl. So they drive over to see her.
Yeah, they go right off road. They go right off road and head like a beeline towards where they can see the setup of this new seismology worker out there. And they pull up and she's there. And she approaches and she has a big sun hat on, just kind of regular clothes you would use to be out there in doing this job. And then she has just sunscreen all over her nose. Like big blot of white sunscreen.
So the description that Kevin Bacon said, which I all saved you from, is not this. I will point out, I find that this person, a very attractive person, but very regular, plus the added sunblock. Yeah. And she tells them that she's getting strange seismographic readings on her seismographone. Her gramophone. What the hell's that? The thing that goes tick and shows you like when you're lying, it goes. You know what? When you lie on a machine, you know how you've been hooked up to a lying machine before, Art? I think you do that.
I have actually. I definitely have. Yeah.
Who hasn't? But it's like that. It's like one of those little. I'm so describing this badly.
A seismograph, like you see it, it has a little thing, and the needle goes back and forth across the paper to show you when there's ever any disturbances. Yeah.
Yep. And she's very pretty. She's no Tammy Lynn Baxter, if you ask me.
No. He has pictures of his perfect women in his sun visor.
Yeah.
And they all look like they're cut out of mechanics magazines or something, right? That's what they look like to me.
Holding a wrench, an oversized wrench. No.
So I'll ask you, did you get the idea that these are any actually women he dated, or these are his fantasy women? Is that what Earl's saying?
One of them is, and it's apparently Tammy Lynn Baxter.
Right. Okay. So
it's just, I love those we always talk about that in a movie. It's like a side character we'll never, ever see, but we want to learn about their life. Like, what's Tammy Lynn Baxter doing now? She's like an ambassador to Europe or something. But they say goodbye to her, and there's a little hint of like Fred Ward going, come on. You got to raise your expectations. He wants him to go after people who are better than Tammy. But they're
And
going
he's sort
to
of like, here's a nice girl. Why aren't
yeah,
you?
she's nice.
Yeah.
But they're going to where they live, which is an amazing place.
Mm-hmm. Perfection, Nevada is what it's called. The population 14.
14.
Yes.
Yep. And this is all desert. If anybody's wondering where this is, picture, is there a tree? No trees. There's tumbleweeds, there's rocks, there's distance.
Yeah.
Loads of distance.
And I will say, nice mountains off in the background and there. You can, it says Perfection, Nevada, but you've lived out here in California. Now I live here. And you can immediately clock it as the California desert if you've been out there. That's what I immediately looked at.
That's the problem with living in California is once you've lived there, you're like, wait a second. This is the same city that was in the other movie. You know.
But gorgeously, I do have to say it's gorgeous. They are really taking advantage of showing us these because they're out in the middle of nowhere, like you said. And this town, there are towns like this, even to this day in California, out in the middle of the desert. Probably not as small as Perfection, Nevada, but these little towns with doesn't seem like there's much there. And the houses look like they're really janky or they're actually just built out mobile homes.
Yeah, it's that
you see
corrugated metal for a shed. You know, you touch it and your hand like sizzles. You know? Great place to live, 14.
Yeah.
But they pull up to the market, the grocery store, which
general store, I guess you'd call it, right?
Yeah. And it's owned by our favorite. It's owned by Egg Shen's. Is it called Egg Shen's Market?
It should be. I was like, this really should be Egg Shen.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's Walter Chang, right?
Yes. And a fun little fact is, because I like this guy, originally it was supposed to be a Vietnamese market. And when they cast him, he's like, well, shouldn't it be a Chinese market because I'm Chinese? And they went, oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Egg Shen, for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, Walter.
And it is that perfect blend of it has the basic needs in there on the shelves. So you got your cereal, your groceries. You also have your tools and things like that. But you also have little curios there that if some traveler stops in there, they can buy a tchotchke or some sort of touristy thing in there.
Oh, that's so funny because just now, Art, I looked over your shoulder and noticed you have a freaking curio behind you. It's an octopus. The hell are you doing? It's got an octopus stuffed animal right behind you. Fun fact, I have an octopus stuffed animal downstairs.
Ooh. All right.
We're meant to be together. So you're getting introduced to all the characters here. So you get Walter, and then you get the punk kid. What is he, like 13?
Melvin. He's bouncing a basketball, and he's the kind of kid who likes to do stuff like catch, fool people, and he has the most annoying laugh. This kid, like it's almost like out of The Simpsons or something. and we'll talk about. Maybe I'll just talk about him right here briefly, Eric. I was like, who is this kid? As the movie went on, I'm like, who is he? Anybody's kid? Is he? And I learned that in an earlier drafts of the script that we don't see, the idea is his dad goes off for long periods and just leaves him there in Perfection. Like he has a situation where his dad is, they talk about his dad just kind of goes off. And I think his dad's been gone for a while at this point with the movie. And they're all like, his dad hasn't been back for a while. So
yeah. So this is a drama. Tremors is a drama.
No. So they cut all that, but I was curious in the movie because he doesn't seem to have a parent or anything. He just seems to be hanging around.
There's lots of characters where you're just going, what's their backstory? And then for the most part, you go, well, I don't really need it, I guess.
Yeah. We do meet, however, two important people here. Michael Gross and Reba McEntire are here. Bert and Heather. Bert Gummer and his wife, Heather.
Yep, the famous Reba McEntire. And I'm sorry, Reba, if this isn't your song, but what part of no don't you understand? I think that's Reba, but she has awesome country music if you like her. And she's young here.
First film.
Yep.
This is Reba McEntire's
first film. Does a great job. She's very natural. She's one of those people like you give her dialogue and she's just very natural. And then you got Michael Keaton's dad.
Right off of Family Ties. He left the rap party for Family Ties and flew to the set of Tremors.
Good for him, because his career, the rest of his life, is because of Tremors.
Yeah.
But they're gun enthusiasts, right? They're gun enthusiasts. They're survivalists. So you're getting
preppers. Yeah. And so he's talking about the seismologist who's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, yeah, next thing you know, they find oil. Then the government's in here. Boom. He goes, imminent domain. They're taking your property. That's his orientation.
Yeah.
But it's funny. The other people in there are sort of like, come on, Bert.
Yeah, they're a little bit on the outside. They're outsiders a little bit there.
Yeah.
And
but good-natured. Everybody in this movie is very good-natured.
Nobody's right. All right, I agree. Nobody's dislikable in this. They are likable. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I felt about them the first time I saw it, but they're likable. You're just like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. Because they still want to help.
Mm-hmm.
But we cut to that the seismomorph, the graphophone, the seismograph is going crazy. And our seismologist, Rhonda, who no longer has the stuff on her nose, she took it off.
Well, she noticed after they drove off that she had it on. So.
It's funny how only your nose burns. But she goes to her truck, and we see from a POV that something's following her low to the ground.
Mm-hmm. This was added footage afterwards.
Yeah, but I think
they put it in.
Keeps Tremors moving forward. I think Tremors moves. It is
good, but I will say I was a little confused when I saw it this time, because when it opened, we opened with Kevin Bacon on the cliff. There was no cold open. There was no showing the monster attacking something or something like that. There was none of that. And we have this scene. We're going to have a couple of other scenes. I'll point them out where they added them afterwards. They shot them afterwards because they need a little bit more. So we'll talk,
I just
talk about
think
that.
They need a little bit more because, okay. Well, I'll point out in that scene, whatever is coming towards the car, I thought, we don't really see whatever it is doing that type of thing again. So you can tell somebody's like, well, let's just make a POV of something coming towards the car.
Yeah. And, but she escapes just in time into her car and drives off.
Unbeknownst to her. She don't know. And then we got our guys collecting trash. They're using a big tractor. Mm-hmm. One of those big old, what do you call it, a scoop tractor?
They call it a cat. They call it the cat, like a caterpillar tractor, payloader type of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's along the Hess truck line. You could get one of those.
And they're just showing how these guys' lives, we're going to see a lot of this. Like Val picks up like a big garbage bag and it breaks.
Yeah.
And all the garbage goes all over the place. And and I think Val is getting a little, what are we doing here? Right.
Yeah, they're both at this point thinking, what's the point? We're picking up people's trash while they're sitting in basically what looks like a junkyard on the worst possible sofas with no legs. And they're using a toilet bowl as a cooler. And if you look in the toilet bowl, that toilet bowl was well used. And they're taking drinks out of it.
Yeah, they're taking their icy drinks out of the toilet bowl.
But they're very comfortable. That's their lives. They're used to it.
Yeah, and they just keep saying, we got to set our sights higher. They're just arguing with each other about that. Yeah.
And so how do they set their sights higher?
Well, they got to go empty septic tanks. And I think it's Melvin's house that they're doing the septic at. Young Melvin is on the porch laughing at them. And did you notice that little detail? It's Chang's Renta stenciled on the the sewage tank is Chang's Rentals.
Oh, so cool. Chang's raking it in.
So they're renting this from Chang, this big sewage septic
an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
but they're deciding, what is it that's gonna make us leave? And then the freaking pipe with the poop in it spurts out and gets all over him.
To Melvin's laughter.
Yeah, Melvin's eating it up. So then they decide they got to leave. It's
done. A hard cut. It's a hard cut, Eric, to them in the truck loading it up, and they're heading out.
Yep, they just pack up all their stuff. I love the fact that they take their little name sign that says, who they are. Like at the mailbox, they just grab that and put it in the car.
Yeah. And on their way out, though, they get tempted. They get tempted because another resident, we meet another resident here, Nancy, stops them to say, like, hey, can you do this one more job for me, like, before you leave town? And we should say Nancy has a daughter that's going down the street there on her pogo stick. So
Yes.
ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. And I like this kid. She has sunglasses and a Walkman on while she's doing her pogo stick down the street.
There's not much else to do in this town, Art. So she's just focused on pogo sticking.
And this
fun fact that our little girl Mindy
Mhm.
is the niece in Jurassic Park. The
Yes.
original.
She's
Always
a
being
monster
attacked by
kid.
monsters. This kid.
Monster kid. And did you know our woman here, who's Mindy's mom, we would know she was the teacher on Little House on the Prairie. The teacher.
Oh, but
at
I
the
don't
school.
give a shit about that.
I know you don't. But
Orsina would.
yeah.
She'd be watching this. She'd watch it with me, but Orsina would be like, my wife, oh my God, that's the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she offers them, and she even throws in, Eric, free beer. I'll give you guys free beer.
So they stay.
No. And they're proud of themselves.
Super
They are
proud.
proud of themselves that they didn't stay.
Driving away in that truck with whatever it is they have in the back of the pickup, whatever that gear is, probably a blanket, a TV.
Yeah.
And then, there's those big electrical wire towers, right? Is that what it is? A wire tower?
Yeah, high tension wire towers. Yeah.
It's not a telephone pole. And they see a guy way up there, sitting up there doing nothing.
Yeah. And they recognize him. They can tell from his coat. They said, that's Edgar Deems. They said, yeah.
Yep.
They know him. And you get the feeling from what they're saying that he's kind of maybe a guy, grumpy old timer, gets drunk and does so they're thinking he must have climbed up there and he's stuck or he's drunk or something up there.
Yeah. Is he one of the 14 people in the population? He's got to be, right?
Yeah. That's what I would think.
Here's where I want to start then.
Okay.
We got the population of 14.
Yeah.
So we're going to count down the population as we go, if we can. Got it?
All right, Eric. I'm up for this. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we can count people missing because we don't know who's missing.
So just fun fact too, I think this scene was probably filmed very close to the beginning because I read in the trivia that it's that typical story, Eric, in movies, almost like if you go back to Jaws, they scouted Jaws on Martha's Vineyard for filming location during like the fall and winter or something. And they're like, oh, this is amazing. And then when they went to shoot it in like April and May, all the tourists came and it's a completely different island. Same here. They scouted all this. They're like, oh my God, this is great. First day they show up to film, snow on the ground. So if you notice this scene, the mountains in the background have snow and there's snow patches as far as the eye can see. Look at it next time when Val and Earl pull up here. But the rest of the movie, you don't really see that, but you just see snow on the ground here. So keep an eye out for that the next time.
Yeah, I thought we were doing this organically, Art. We don't look at trivia at all.
Yeah.
We just
but
here's another rock, paper, scissors, and Val loses. Yes, he loses. Okay.
Val does paper this time, and Earl does scissors.
Val is played by who?
Val is Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Oh, Kevin Bacon. No, don't. Keep going. So Kevin Bacon is like, hey, what's going on? The guy doesn't react. So he climbs up there and bum. Earl's dead.
Yeah, Edgar.
I'm sorry, Edgar.
Edgar's
Deems, dead.
Yeah.
Earl, Edgar. I guess it could be either one.
Yeah, I know. So, keep going.
They've deemed Edgar dead.
Great.
Edgar Deems dead. Stupid.
Yeah.
But he's dead.
Still has the shotgun, Edgar up there in his arms. But if you look at him, he looks like his face is sunburned. It's got all the peeling on his face and he's dry. His lips are super dry.
Yep.
So he's obviously been up there for a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they bring him to the dock because there's also a doctor in this town.
Yep.
What?
Yep. And the dock, so the dock seems to work out of like a mobile home or something.
Well, they're building, him and his wife are building their what is it? Their dream house out of concrete. But the
doctor said he died of thirst.
Yeah. Dehydration. 3 or 4 days he was up there.
Mm-hmm.
And here's I just love to do this too. So now we have a meanwhile. Or is it a cut to? Is this a meanwhile or a cut to?
It's a cut to a guy who has a sheep pen and he's hoeing I don't know if he's actually hoeing or they're just doing. I was like, what is he doing with that hoe?
He's hoeing. He's got a hoe.
He does got a hoe.
Older guy, another older guy. Everybody here is like over 60.
Yes, yeah. And suddenly, in the background, his scarecrow. He has a scarecrow up for his little garden there, and the scarecrow starts shaking from side to side. So we know something's under the ground or something near him. And the sheep are getting all scared. They're going around the pen.
It'd be awesome if they had those, if they were goats and they had the fainting goats and all the goats would just drop. I'm really into fainting goats right now. I don't know if you're aware of them, but fainting goats are awesome. But they're just regular sheep.
Yeah. They're just regular sheep. But he suddenly...
he gets... what I love is they just cut right to it. They're like, let's go. He doesn't spend all his time looking around. He gets sucked off below the... That sounded awful, Art. He gets sucked off camera from below. Oh, no. Wait. Can I... Let me just try one more time, Art.
Okay, try one more.
Okay. He's standing there and then he disappears off camera as if he was sucked into the ground. Does that work, everybody? I was thinking about Kevin Bacon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we do a quick cut to our seismologist.
Waiting for me to continue. He's like, yeah.
We cut to our seismologist.
No, not before we count 2 people. So it's population.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so you're counting down. So now we're down to population 12.
12 people.
So imagine the sign, everybody, the old sign for perfection, and Erik is crossing it out and putting a new number.
That's like 20% of the population already gone.
Is gone. And we cut to our seismologist really quick, and we see the things going off a little bit on her seismology device. Yeah. So Earl and Val, they're going to try to get out of town again after they brought back Edgar Deems. Boom, they're heading out again.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's so funny. What the hell is that? One of them said. Like, I guess they noticed this from the road.
It's that one road. There's no tree. There's nothing to see, Art, but a pile of dead sheep.
That's right. Dead sheep. You can't even tell they were sheep. I mean, these are just like, it's big bloody chunks of meat just all over the sheep pen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go over to the garden area and you see a hat on the ground. And they're like, oh man, that's his hat. And it's old Fred. They said this must be old Fred. I guess that's what they call him, right?
Old Fred.
And they pick up the hat. And his head is just sitting there looking up with an expression on its face.
And it is a prop, and it's a great prop. Whoever did the prop of this head, great. It's not the actor, it's a prop. But old Fred is dead.
Old Fred is dead.
Yes.
And Erik, this is where I'll stop again just to briefly say, the stuff we just saw where Fred was pulled under, that was added too. So the original cut of this movie, just so you know, they would have found Edgar up on the telephone pole, and then they would have found Fred's head under the hat, but we wouldn't have seen the attack on Fred. We wouldn't have seen that thing going under the ground approaching Rhonda at her car. So it would have been more like we're finding dead people without introducing yet that there are these things under the ground yet. So isn't that interesting? It reminds me of when we talked about, remember The Fog? You and I talked about that movie where the fog was laid out a little bit like this, where it's a mystery. And then they had to go back and add more things to kind of keep the audience more interested. I just wanted to just point that out.
Thank you.
It was interesting.
Well, thank you.
So,
but I agree. They should have put these in. We don't need to think that it's a killer. They think it's a killer. We don't need, I want to see these surprise things happen. So, and here's what I want to point out while we're just diving off and talking about whatever we want.
Sorry.
Is
Erik, but should I put on my glasses for my douchebag cinema persona?
No, people need to know. Like I was just going to say, people need to know that Kevin Bacon was in a cameo in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We need to know that if we can go forward with Tremors. No, well, you're sidetracked. You're sidetracking. I have sidetracking too, and it's a problem.
Yes.
And my
Okay.
sidetracking is the monster itself. So what we're seeing here right now is whatever's killing things leaves pieces of them. Okay, so I want to point that out because I'm all about monsterology, and I need to know why things change as the movie goes on. And I'll never get an answer, Art. But I want to point out that the sheep, they're like you said, there are pieces of sheep left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's a head left.
Yes, and a head.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. But they haul ass, and they see a bunch of two construction workers are on the highway. They got jackhammers, and it's a great little exchange. Get the hell out of here! There's a psycho killer doing something, yelling at the construction workers. And I have to say, if I was a construction worker, I'd be like, "What the heck? What was that all about?"
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. And they're using that jackhammer, and I love it. I love slow reveals of what's happening. You're wondering. So the jackhammer goes blah, 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 and hits something. Then this orangey goop. It's like if you melted an orange creamsicle, and then you hear this. Like he hit something.
And then the jackhammer, I like how they did this. It's pretty cool. The jackhammer sort of is still upright, and it just sort of starts taking off on its own, like it's stuck into something under the ground, and it's sort of ripping through the ground, going across. But the poor construction worker guy, the hose from the jackhammer is wrapped around his leg. And the jackhammer goes up the hill. It drags him up the hill and off to the top of the hill. And the other construction worker, who got a little freaked out, so he has a little crowbar to defend himself. He's holding a crowbar. And then the top of the hill, the rocks something explodes or something, and a bunch of rocks come down. And that's, we're seeing rocks come down on these guys.
Yeah. So the two dead, however, Art, they don't live in perfection.
No, they do
don't.
not.
So we're not counting them. So there's 12 people that live in the town of perfection that are still alive. But these two guys are dead.
So we're back at Chang's, which is always we're back at Chang's, right? But this scene right here is so fast. Do you know what I'm talking about here, Eric? They come in and Chang's like, the phone is dead. And then there's a new guy in here whose name is Nestor. But he's another guy. And you got to go to Bixby and get the police to come up here, he says to Val and Earl.
Because I think he's the one who says that one of them says some of their cattle is dead. But the phone you mentioned, so I'm going to bring that up. What I love is I think Val picks up the phone. He's like, your phone is dead. He goes, Chang goes,
Chang.
I didn't do it.
That's what I mean. It's all so fast, Eric. I actually watched the scene a couple of times to catch everything that was going on. They're in, they're out. And then, like I said, they're throwing sort of characters at us who live here in perfection. Like we're picking up. Yeah,
we're meeting some more people.
Meeting a couple more people, yeah.
But Val, whose full name is Valentine, by the way, they both decide they're leaving. They're going to get the police. So again, they're leaving again.
I like this bit that they keep trying to leave. And they even call it out here, Eric. Is it Fred Ward said, did we do something? Is there some, he goes, is there some higher force at work? And he's getting philosophical. He goes, this is my favorite line. He goes, are we asking too much of life? That's what he says. And right as he says it, they pull up on the construction site that's just the rock slide has gone across the road.
Yep. And they find 2 helmets with guts in them. So
I was going to say, I didn't know if it was like brain matter in there or guts. I didn't know exactly.
There's something in there.
Yeah.
So that I know why. If we're going into monsterology later on, I know why the helmet's there by itself. Because those two guys, remember, one got crushed by an avalanche. And the other one got pulled away. And there's a roadblock here, Art. So apparently, this is one of those movies where there's no other way out of town. Just the one road where 14 people decided to settle down and live their lives in the searing heat and the deadly cold so that they could have a house made out of cinder blocks and metal.
I will say you can kind of understand Burt Gummer when you
Yes.
learn about him being out there. Yeah.
But the doctor and his wife a dream home? Okay.
And I also we never get it, which I love, is we never really get how Val and Earl ended up there anyway.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't need
Yeah, we don't need to, but yeah. So they gotta get out of there. So they back up, but he jams the back of the truck into the hillside. But when he goes to go out, the truck is stuck.
Mhm.
And they can't get out. They can't. So and they're arguing. And Fred Ward, it's that thing of whenever you're stuck, the person in your passenger seat, they know how to get out. They know.
My God.
They know how to do it.
Art,
You don't.
If you're driving or starting a fire, try to do it alone if you can, because the person next to you apparently knows how to drive better than you and knows how to start a fire better than you.
Always.
So just, folks, if you learn nothing else, our listeners, do it alone or tell your passenger to shut the up. You're grinding it. You got to add more paper.
So Kevin Bacon finally guns it, and they get unstuck, and they head off. They go back. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're back at the general store, and they look in the back of the wheel. There's something attached to the wheel, Art. And this is where we get our first glimpse of a monster.
And can I say, Erik, it's a nice shot where you see it's like under the axle and it's sort of coming out from under the truck. But did you notice they frame almost the entire town of Perfection is in this shot? It's all really there. They're all there. I think there's just a few missing in this one shot. And I was like, great job, everybody, because they're all looking at it. It's really good.
Art, they're not all there because two are dead.
Two are dead, yeah.
And then we got apparently a deadbeat dad that you told us all about. So we're not going to count him.
No.
So there's a thing attached to the tire. And if you haven't seen Tremors, so it almost looks like an eel, a sand eel, right? It's about 4 feet long. Yeah. It's got two horns that go back, almost like a dragon.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't have any eyes, and it's got a mouth with little teeth in it. So you don't know what it is. You've never seen it before, but I would best describe it as like a giant sand eel dragon.
And the back half of it looks like it's been
ripped off. Yeah. So clearly that's what holding the truck back.
And Michael Gross, Burt Gummer goes right in to pry it out of there, look at it. He's like, it's a mutation or something.
Yeah. And we're also introduced to Miguel. I don't know what Miguel does in the town.
Is it Miguel or yes?
Yeah, Miguel and Nestor. We already talked about Nestor, but Miguel is, I don't know what he does, but he does something. I forget. And then we got Egg Shen. I'm just going to call him Egg Shen from now on. He looks at it, and being the entrepreneur that we talked about, all right, Chang. He's like, I'll give you boys $5 for that. They start arguing over.
Yeah.
He wants to buy it.
He negotiates it. Now, Bert thinks there are more of them for some reason. He says that. He's like, there's got to be more of them. They can't be only one.
Yeah.
Right.
And he thinks it's like a snake, an eel. And then for some reason, they talk about how much it stinks.
They mention that a lot in this movie.
Oh, my gosh. Why do we have to know how much it stinks the whole time?
Yeah. And Val, I think it's Val also says, this is weird. That thing doesn't look like it would be able to hold back our truck, which we tow a lot of stuff with. It's like, it had to be really strong to hold back the truck. This little snake. Yeah. So we're gonna cut. We're gonna get one of our rare nighttime scenes in this movie. Did you notice this movie takes place almost entirely in bright daylight? The entire
and
movie.
Outside, mostly outside.
Yeah, outside and in daylight. But we're getting a night scene here. So it's nighttime, and we're at the doctor's trailer, and you see his half-built house there in the background, and he and his wife are sitting down having a few drinks at the end of the night or whatever, and tomorrow the cinder blocks are coming in for the house, so they're going to have to go into Bixby and pick up the...
Bixby.
I don't know if we've established that yet, Erik, but Bixby is the nearest town.
Yeah, what, 38 miles away or 40 miles away?
38 miles away, yeah.
Yeah, and they got a generator, and the generator goes out. And when they go over to the generator, Art, it's not there. There's kind of a dent. There's like a, what do you call it, an indent in the ground, and there's just the cord attached to the generator. So the generator's gone. They're like, what the heck happened to the generator?
Erik, it might be down in the mines. Are there mine shafts around here?
I don't know. Let's include stuff that we don't even care about for the future of the movie, right?
But I'm
Mine
just joking,
shaft.
Erik, because you often point out, how many movies do we have where they mention mine shafts?
Like
You and I,
the
that we
old
cover.
mines underneath, sucking up them generators. But it gets, we then see that the generator comes flying out of the ground, up in the air.
Like a few meters away. Yeah, like a few
with
yards
a
away.
puff of like fume or smoke or something. And the doctor says, "Ew, stinky. What's that smell?" Again, what's that smell?
Yeah. And they start walking back, and something grabs him from underneath, it's pulling him down under the ground. She's trying to hold him up, and he's really terrified. The actor's doing a good job here of like, oh my God, what the hell's happening to me? It's pulling him down under, and he grabs a board. There's a board.
2x4. Yeah.
2x4, and it snaps, pulls him down, it kind of snaps. And I think it hurt the actor or the stunt person or whatever, the woman. Like, because when I watched the scene back, it's like the board snapped and flipped up and hit her on the arm, and I could see it was kind of like.
You think it's a real 2x4?
Yeah, you're right. It's probably not.
They probably use a real 2x4 of like, if you don't break it on the first take. Yeah, but he just.
She's all right, Erik.
But one of those snake things comes out of the ground.
Ooh.
It tries to get her, but she gets away.
She gets into
the ground.
Yeah. So it's the snake thing, and then she gets to the car. They have a car station wagon. So she gets in the back of the station wagon, closes it, and right up against the window, one of those snake things, and it's got it's great because it's going across the the glass, and you can see it's got like liquid in its mouth that it's smearing.
Yeah, it's goo. It's that alien goo.
It's smearing it around. But then we see a few others pop up at other windows in the back. And so there's more than one of them, like Burt Gummer said.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what it does is they pull the car into the ground. It's this is all practical effects, everybody. This is not CG. The snake things are actual puppets that look great, I think. And they pull the car into the ground. Here's what I have a question for you, Art, because you're a geologist, right? You study the earth.
I did, yeah.
So you're in the desert. The desert sands of the desert, the ground, is that pretty much like what you'd find at like the Sahara, where you can just dig easily and pull objects into the ground? Or is there, it's just always confusing to me that like there's a lot of rocks in there. How did these things pull the whole car so easily into the ground?
It's like
I'm asking for the listeners. I'm asking
the Nate Bargatze joke, that comedian. He said, when I watch movies where people bury people, like murder victims, he's like, and they dig the hole, he goes, I think that nobody in Hollywood has ever actually tried to dig a hole.
No. And it's always a perfect rectangle shape. No. But here's where a good scene is. It all of a sudden shows the distance, and all you see are the headlights of the car aiming up to the night sky.
And one of them goes out, and then the other one goes out.
Really good.
I love that shot, Erik. And they needed to do it because their rig for pulling that car underground, they couldn't get it all the way. It didn't work.
Yep.
They wanted to be able to pull it all the way down. So I thought they found a nice artistic way to show that with the headlights going up into the sky. I thought that was a great way for them to finish off that shot.
If the shark isn't working, think of something else.
Think of something else. And they did. That was really, really good.
So Art, the doctor and his wife live in perfection technically, right? I think they're in perfection. So now we just killed 2 people. We have 10 people left in the town of perfection.
Okay.
10.
Picture the sign, everybody. Yep. Little line through it.
You need one of those baseball things. You could take the numbers and put them up.
Or like 0 days since the last accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
So dead. 10 people left in perfection.
I will point out, when the car was being pulled under, Reba McEntire song on the radio.
Yep. What? Hard to know. No, something else. Reba. Yeah. So now we're coming back to the general store, right?
Yeah, Chang's, and he's already making money off the snake.
$3.
Pictures, $3. Yeah. And Val and Earl are looking at people taking the money for the picture, and they're going, man, undersold.
They undersold because if all 14 people bought a photo, he'd make his $15 back or whatever, like $10 plus. Yeah. Who is he setting this up for? Who drives into perfection to get gas and Cheetos? What
I like is it's Mindy, little Mindy and her mom. And Mindy doesn't seem too happy about taking the picture with the snake because it smells too, I'll bet. Ew.
It's gross.
Everybody talks about how it smells. Yeah.
Yeah, but Melvin loves it. He's hamming it up with that photo taken. Yeah.
Now, Bert's idea, Bert Gummer is there. And his idea is we need to plan to hunker down and take this on and, armor up and get ready, and he's all that. Yeah,
and that's why they chose this place for geographic isolation.
Yes,
because apparently there's a CB radio, but conveniently, Art doesn't work outside of the valley.
Yeah, because all the mountains. Yeah. You got cliffs to the north, mountains to the east and west, and 38 miles to Bixby. That's what they say, Eric.
And here you are stuck in the middle again. No. And the phones are out too because of the dead guy that was up there, the construction workers, the phones aren't working. We never saw the phone lines go out. Yeah. So the only way to get help, I guess, is apparently to use the horses owned by our entrepreneur. If he lived in like New York, he'd be billionaire by now. But he's got horses. He's got a septic tank. He's got photos with monsters. He's got chips, soda, and horses. Can we point out the little girl hardly says anything in Tremors? She hardly talks at all.
No.
I mean, I'm not even sure. She only tells them how many jumps she did in the entire movie. That's her only line.
She's trying to set some sort of record. She's going for some sort of record.
Yeah, but she doesn't say anything
for the jumps
in the movie.
Yes.
Like one of the only people that doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what do they do to decide who's going to get a gun? They're arming themselves with guns. Rock, paper, scissors. So Val and Earl are going on the horses because everybody looked at them like, you're the only ones that can do it. So they're going out again, Art. Again.
These two are going to help, but this time on horses, like you said. And they're having a little discussion here. For all you know, they could fly. They're under the ground. They could grab us, but for all you know, they don't know anything about these things. We have to remember that.
Yep.
They really don't know about these things yet. Now, I know we're not bringing stuff in from other movies, but I've heard that this line means something in the future. That's all I'll say for future things.
Oh, God. Yep.
And Chang brings out, Eric, you must have loved this line. He goes, here's some Swiss cheese and some bullets.
He gives them Swiss cheese.
And bullets.
Yes, in this town of 14 people, right? In this town, we got stuff. You can buy anything at the store.
Oh, yeah. That would be a song. It's almost like Master of the House for Les Mis, but with
there
Chang.
You go. That's even better. Yeah, we got all the shit. Anything you want. We got Swiss cheese and we got rifles, too. Have yourself a cold soda. We can take all your shit. I mean...
But that soda, we should point out that soda freezer cooler is always on the fritz. It's always vibrating.
It's an old school. You have to slide it open. It's on the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like an ice cream thing, open it up.
And then Melvin, the little shit, comes out with the snake wrapped around his head going, ah! And they were going to shoot him. They were,
Everyone, Art doesn't like Melvin.
Melvin is annoying.
Melvin doesn't have any parental supervision.
I know. I should feel bad.
Yeah, Bert Gummer doesn't like him either. He's like, I swear to God. It's like, one of these days, someone's going to kick your ass. And it's just foreboding. Foreboding for me, I'm not sure there's a payoff with the Melvin, like, one of these days, Melvin. Like Boy Who Cried Wolf. I don't know. But they ride off.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They ride off. Gorgeous photography of the landscape with them riding across it on the horses, Eric. The mountains in the background, these two, and they're riding across there, and they come across a doctor's encampment.
There's nobody there, Art.
But they think, oh, he must be gone because the car's gone.
But they hear music. Is it a Reba McEntire song?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's music, but where's it coming from? Oh.
Yeah. Seems like it come from under the ground, so they brush away the dust, and there are the headlights still on. Radio's still going.
Great shot of them being lit by the headlights, which are still working after what, 12 hours? I don't know.
Yeah. And they say, here's the plan. We ride like hell. They get on their horses.
That's the plan.
And they just start going. And I noticed they're riding along. It's good. The directors are good. They're setting this up along a big concrete, like drainage trench. We see them riding.
You call that a drainage?
Drainage, like a drainage trench. Yeah, that's what I would call it. Yeah, I think
like
it's for
in LA, there's a bunch of those, but those are called something else, right? Those are huge.
Yeah.
This one's about, what, 10 feet across, something like that?
Yeah, because out in desert type areas, when it rains, the rain can really gather because the ground isn't used to absorbing it. So you got to really funnel it out in ways, or else you'll have massive flooding. So that's what I think these trenches are that they're riding by here. And then the horses get spooked. Yeah,
big time they get spooked. And then great stuff. The way they shoot Tremors, because it's not a big budget movie, they can't really show you some stuff. And I like it sometimes when you don't see shot for shot what exactly is happening. So seeing the car getting pulled down all the way, I think it's better when they have trouble and they have to improvise. So the horses are getting attacked from under the ground and the horses get taken out. And one of those tentacle things, super long, it like the snake is wrapped around the horse, which apparently they had to give a little bit of a sedative to.
Oh, no.
They're like, sorry, we're going to have to calm down. It's not a real snake. But so these sand snakes take out the horses.
Mm-hmm. And they come up, and so they're looking around. They're like, oh, my God, there must be a ton of these. That's what they're thinking. They're all over the place. These snake things are coming up. And then the big one, this big thing comes popping up out of the ground. And it's like, whoa. So if you've been watching this movie up to this point, you're thinking it's about these snake creatures, these little snake creatures. And now you're like, oh my gosh, what is this thing? Because it's so much bigger than the other ones.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon's line, must be a million of them. And then Fred Ward goes, nope, just one. Because when the thing comes out of the ground, it's awesome. So we find out that it's a whole creature that looks like a giant, I guess, worm, right? So a big worm, picture big worm, and it's got these big ass spikes on its back, not huge, but big enough. And then its mouth, it's got one hooky bone jaw at the front.
And then beakish. It's almost like a beak or something on it.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah.
And then 3 more underneath it. So it opens up like that. And then there's awesome detail in the mouth. Like it's that goop you're talking about, and fleshy, like throaty bit and black dots. And then out of that mouth art, that's the snakes. We got a bunch of those that come out. So it's like a tongue, like a chameleon would, get food. That's what they are.
Yeah. The snakes come out of the mouth. And it's, this whole creature, it's sort of sandy and blubbery, almost like a Jabba the Hutt type of skin down, right? It's like sandy, blubbery.
Yeah, because a hardened worm shell. Yeah. But really cool looking monster. No eyeballs.
So we immediately get the idea these little snake things are part of a bigger creature. So they run, they take off, and then we see it dives in almost like a dolphin or shark. It dives back under the ground. This creature.
And very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done.
Yeah. It's a cool little shot. We get a couple of these in the movie where they put the camera sort of just below the ground level. So we see the earth moving past it. It's almost like seeing a shark going for the victim, but we're seeing it going through the ground. It's really kind of a
really
cool
good shot. And it holds up. It looks great. The diving into the ground looks great. And then it's knocking. What I love is when you see where it's going without seeing it, where the fence posts are going boom, 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 and knocking down. I love that. And then I was thinking the word aqueduct. Would that be also correct?
But an aqueduct, I think, is usually when it's raised up above the ground, like that. But they are approaching these concrete trench, and they're like, they gotta jump it. And I love that they don't make it across to the other side. Both of them go thump on the other side of this thing.
Yeah,
and you
they're
think,
not heroes.
oh shit.
They're not heroes.
They're like, oh man, they're stuck. But then, boom, whatever was chasing them, this creature clearly hits that concrete, and the concrete splinters out, like shatters outward, and the goo comes out, and then just one of the snakeheads is like, blah. It's just like,
and I love the sound effects of whatever this creature is. Apparently can scream. So it just like, it makes noise, which I think is hilarious, to be honest. The noise, every creature has to make noise, I guess, in a movie to make it fun.
And Fred Ward, Val and Earl are really excited, especially Val, because he's like, we killed it. And he uses the one F-bomb that a PG-13 movie gets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that would have been rated R only for the amount of swearing in it. And they changed it to gall darn or, Mother Trump.
But he uses the one F-bomb here.
Yeah, that's all you get. You get the one.
Yeah.
And so right at the top, conveniently, is Rhonda, our seismologist. Like, hey, what's going on? And again, they say how smelly it is. There's a convenient dead branch that makes basically a giant pole. They have a piece of wood that's conveniently their art, and they pry open the concrete, and then the front of it falls out. And they see for the first time, holy crap, this is where those things are coming from. And what I love is they show you when they go and look at the back, you can see how long it is because it was burrowing. Apparently, when it hit the wall, its back flipped up so we can see it on the surface. So I would say my guess is they're like Jaws size, like 25, 30 feet long.
That's what it looked like to me. Yeah, because Kevin Bacon kind of digs it all out and we get to see the full length of it.
Yeah.
And it has a beak, and our seismologist Rhonda is saying, well, it doesn't have any eyes. They're noticing there's no eyes on it. And, I should say, little fun note, when they were first designing the creatures, they apparently wanted to have a skin-like sheath on the beaky part that would retract like that. And then somebody early on in the design, you're glad this person did this, because sometimes I think, Erik, things can go off before they realize. And somebody said, if we do that, it will look like giant penises attacking everybody.
Correct. Giant, uncircumcised. So they would be Kevin Bacon's attacking everybody.
I told you at the beginning, this is a metaphor, Erik. This whole movie. No, but
what I love,
but good for them. I love that somebody pointed that out early on. And
yes. And the seismologist here doesn't know anything really about the species, but I like that they're giving us little hints of, these barbs help it to travel, things like that. But they still don't know what the hell this.
But she notes that there might be more of them, because she notes that her seismograph is showing these tremors at the same time in different areas. They're tripping off all over the valley.
She specifically says there's 3 more. So they're dealing with 3 more. So apparently there were 4. And they decide, we'll just go to Rhonda says we'll go to my truck. But they look over and it's like, oh shit, the truck is so far away.
Right. Because the seismograph starts to, and I love this just one little moment. They're walking, and Fred Ward, suddenly it looks like he's getting pulled under, and he goes, "Wah!" Just the way he screams, Erik, "Wah!" Then he goes, "Oh, damn, prairie dog."
Yeah, it's a fun little false.
Yeah, a little bit of a jump scare, but it made me laugh. Just what he put into that. He looked so scared.
It was good. Well, they got to run, and they have to run to the rocks, because they figure, it can't get us. It can't go through rock, probably.
Yeah, so there's a little outcropping of rocks. Over
rocks
there.
Rocks are like icebergs, where there's a lot more underneath the ground.
Yeah.
But they're running to that. and the whatever it was falls them there, and then you can see it's trying to get at them, but one of the snake things has got a part missing, so that the head is gone. So we realize, oh my God, that's the one that attacked them. It's still missing a part.
I like that touch. They can distinguish them. We've talked about that in other movies. Like, how do you distinguish between the different monsters? Yeah.
It's like when they scar, like they did that in Alien. And one of them scarred, or I
think going back to, remember Deadly Spawn, the one we had a long time ago, there was one of them that had yellow paint on it.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. So it's like they do stuff like that.
So they're stuck on these boulders trying to figure stuff out, and they realize it's not leaving. Why isn't it leaving? Because it doesn't have other
And
stuff.
they put together, that's the deal, right? That's how Edgar, our guy up on the power lines, they're like, it must have just waited him out. It must have just stayed down there and just kept circling. And you can see it. I like these shots, Eric, these particular shots in this scene where they look down and you can see right near the rock, it underneath, as if you're seeing like a shark right under the surface, and the dirt is moving over it, and it's kind of swimming basically in the dirt around it. It's almost like you're watching The Shallows, right? Or something. They're stuck on the rock with the sharks around them. Yeah.
They do a great job with that. They do a great job. But here's where and the monster. So the monster is waiting out for them to die, but there's no payoff. So is this monster a like vindictive? So like, if I can't eat you, I'm going to let you die, and then I'm going to leave.
I guess it's waiting and hoping that you will do. It reminds me of remember Stephen King, that story, The Raft, where they're stuck out of the raft and that
love
thing.
The story.
But in that one, it's waiting you out, but then it can hypnotize you if you look into it.
Yeah.
But these don't have any type of power like that.
No.
But they're waiting on there, and I think she realizes, it can probably hear us talking because the rock is a perfect conductor, and so it can hear us under the ground.
Yeah. So
but they have to spend the night there.
Yep. Oh, your second night shot.
Yeah.
And
our second night.
Pushing art. I think they're pushing a little bit. Not every freaking movie has to have it, but they're pushing a little romance here with, Fred Ward's always like doink, doink, doink with his eyes. And then he's looking at Kevin Bacon and I forget her name, but Rhonda, Vic, Val and Rhonda.
We should have, before they wake up though, Eric, a little beginning of the movie open with peeing, and then they do another joke here. Val goes in the night, somebody says, hate to be crude, but I got to take care of business. And then all of them go like, yeah, me too. Yep. So they're all, but that's kind of realistic, Eric. You'd all be like, yep, I guess we're going to all have to go to the bathroom off this rock.
Yeah. And I think the reason why that's included for me is where you think, oh, geez, they're stuck here. So this gives you an example of how they're stuck, is they have to go to the bathroom. They can't hold it until they get rescued.
Yeah, Val and Heather wake up next to each other, little cuddling next to each other.
They have my denim jacket.
She's got
my denim jacket. They have it. And my mom's denim jacket. She just bought one. Same thing.
Ooh.
They live on art. And they figure out, Rhonda figures out that they can jump from rock to rock because there's a convenient pile of rock leading to the truck and a convenient pile of sticks.
This was a little bit for me like, okay, all right.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you know, but in Perfection, they have an annual pole vaulting convention, and they just leave the sticks near the rocks,
Yeah.
So there's just a bunch of sticks there, but it's a great scene where they actually figure out they're going to pole vault to the rocks, and good for the team, the set construction, because all of the rocks except for the first one is fake. And I thought, that's awesome.
Looks great.
It looks.
So they're pole vaulting over. They get to the truck, and then they realize, okay, once we hit that truck, it's going to hear us hit that truck, and we don't have any time. It's going to be right on us. And they don't. Like, they jump in, or they all jump together into the back of the truck, and she goes through the window. It starts the truck, and is she doing the gas with her hands and the steering wheel? And it's crazy. But the thing, it's attacking them, and the snake is coming up over the edge, and Kevin Bacon smacks it with one of the seismology instruments.
He punches it first. I love it. He punches it.
Yeah, those snakes are going up around. They're another shout out for these snakes. They're very articulated, and they look. I think the creature people are doing a good job with these these snake creatures.
Yeah, these are I believe they're puppeted. But
Yeah.
it really the fact that they're blind, so the tentacles that come out of the mouth are really just ways for the creature to eat. So picture it's a tongue with its own mind and set of teeth. But I love the way they slither around, and then they're wicked strong because they smash the window. So we know that they're really long, really strong, and really stinky.
But they get out of there. Rhonda gets the car started. Vroom, they take off. She's driving down. They're all like, yay. And then she's like, hey, can you guys give me a hand? I'm kind of in an awkward position here. But we cut back to Chang's at the market, right? And Walter, so Chang, he's very insistent, Erik, on what do we call these things? It's really interesting to me.
We have to name them.
And I thought of it in a meta way, Erik, from the movie, thinking about how even recently you and I talked about Alien, the movie Alien, and how after the movie came out, people started calling it face huggers or chest bursters or everything like that. And Chang here is sort of like, we got to come up with a name because if we don't come up with a name, people are going to call them something. So he's trying to come up with a name.
Melvin comes up with, he goes, suckoids. And then Walter goes, no, oids. I like that. Snakeoids. So they're trying to come up with this. And what's the other guy's name? I forget the character's name, but they're saying, it's vibrations and stuff. And one of the guys goes, so then like we don't vibrate, right? Nobody should vibrate.
And then they're all trying to figure out what to do. And they said, well, here's the deal. If we just wait, like the phone lines are down, somebody's going to come to fix the phone lines. And they just do a quick cut to that construction trucks. And then we see a phone repair truck is pulled up and we see another hard hat and the phone equipment and the blood. And we realize somebody did send a truck.
Yeah.
And those guys got taken. Yeah.
Because they're on the other side of the barrier.
Yes.
Because the road is blocked by the avalanche. Two guys dead. Two more. That's 4. No. So we still have 10 live residents. Okay. But Val realizes, holy crap. He goes to a map that's on the wall and he's like, look, they were here. They're heading right for town. I love the way he goes, it's like a smorgasbord for them. And I keep thinking there's nobody that lives around here.
Well, it's like the way he looks at it, I think it's like it's a big funnel of mountains right towards perfection. And so these creatures are just eating their way towards
Art.
them.
Oh my God, Art, though, good point. Because they can only go through the soft earth of the desert. So they can't go on either side of the mountains. They have to go through perfection.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to stop off at the general store and just get some snacks. That's what it is. They're stopping off, take a piss, fill up, and go, look at the Grand Canyon or wherever they're going.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talk in this movie too of they discuss like, where do these things come from? What are they? Occasionally people will discuss those things.
They don't know.
They don't tell us. They don't. Yeah.
And we don't need to know. And future movies don't need to tell us anything about them ever. Right? Future movies that we don't need to see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Rhonda comes up with an idea because she, like you said, she's like, oh yeah, the mountains, we were on that rock. They can't get us. So the mountains are granite, these mountains. So if we just get up to the mountains, we can hike the mountains to Bixby.
Mm-hmm. And then we hear Graboids. So we have an official name, everybody, for these monsters. Graboids.
The Graboids.
Thank you, Walter.
And then Melvin does another prank on us. He does another scare.
Yep. He throws a freaking basketball in. And screams like, you son of a gun. And they throw him the basketball back.
Mm-hmm. He goes outside. He's dribbling. And then across the street, Mindy is pogo sticking.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Melvin's dribbling his basketball. Mindy's pogo sticking. As inside, they're talking about how these things sense vibrations.
Yeah. Everybody's vibrating.
Right.
Yep. But it's a great shot because he dribbles the ball and it doesn't come back up. He bounces it. It's gone. So he screams, they run outside and he's up what is it, a light pole?
Mm-hmm.
Sign pole or something?
Yeah, like a sign or sign pole or something. And then they're all out there in this great shot because the thing just comes right up. Does it knock Val off his feet? It knocks somebody off their feet as it comes up, like right off their feet.
And we
they
see
fall
again
down.
this big, beautiful, practical effect monster. The people made this awesome, awesome job, you guys, all around. And here's where everybody panics and they're all running off in different directions. Because now we see this graboid is this big ass thing, and there's 3, we're told.
So Rhonda, the seismologist, Ernesto, Val, and Earl and Chang go running back into Chang's. And then they realize the thing's under the floor in there. But Mindy, they all realize Mindy's out there with her headphones on, pogo sticking. So she doesn't have any idea, Mindy, what's going on.
She doesn't know there's a deadly T-Rex stalking her. And did you say, whose name did you just say? Ernesto? There's no Ernesto.
Oh, it's not Ernesto.
It's Miguel.
Miguel. Okay.
This is another one of those things. At least they have different names, but they don't say them often enough. You're like, who are you?
Right.
All you get is Val and Earl. You know that for sure. Val, Earl.
Right.
And everybody else, except for the Gummers. The Gummers are a good name.
Mm-hmm.
So they're escaping. Here's a great scene. This isn't the first time we've seen this, is it? But the general store has the porch, the outdoor porch with the slats, the floorboards. So it's a porch, like train station style. And they're running into the store, and underneath the floorboards, it's going, ba, 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 ba. I love that. It's used in a lot of movies, but I just like seeing the floorboards come up. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, it's great. It looks fantastic. Yeah. So Val's going to save Mindy.
Yeah, because he goes to chase her to stop her from the pogo stick, and she gets tackled just in time because the pogo stick just gets sucked under the ground.
Yeah.
And here's what we see twice now. Apparently, these monsters know the difference between food and not, because it spits out the pogo stick somewhere else. You see, it shoots up in the air. And the same thing happened with the generator, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So they just spit it out. So they can propel as well as they can pull in. So dare I say, Art, which feel free to edit, they can blow things as well as suck. So they're very good at blowing objects and sucking them in.
I know I need to edit that.
No, there's no reason, because I'm telling you about their makeup.
Well, you read a lot of National Geographic, so you're just thinking about it as a creature. And
like a whale.
It does, yeah.
The whale blows heartily.
So Val gets up. They get up on the truck, right? But then the truck starts to get pulled under. It's pop the tires on the truck.
Well, this thing is available. It has the power to pull these giant objects down. And I don't know how many things each one has, but it's at least 3, if not more. But 3 wicked long things pulling the truck down. So one of these graboids can pull down a truck. And the mom and Mindy, go up on the top of their actually fairly nice house compared to everyone else.
Yeah, compared to everybody else, they got a nice house there. I will say, Mindy and her mom.
Yeah.
So Rhonda, meanwhile, is running across, and she gets caught in some barbed wire.
Yikes!
Pretty nasty. Like, I'm like, oh, yikes! Luckily, she's
in
got
another
thick
movie
jeans on. I think
probably be very nasty in another movie.
Yeah,
but she's okay. She's not getting ripped to shreds in this one.
No. But the thing comes up. The monster, the graboid. Well, I guess we can start calling it a graboid.
Thank you.
The graboid comes up, and the snakes come up, and they grab one of the boards from the barbed wire fence, and so they start pulling her towards it with her legs are all wrapped up in the barbed wire, and it tightens the barbed wire too. So I was like,
and it
like,
snaps,
I felt like
it snaps the 2x4 Art into its mouth. And do you think that the graboid got hurt like the stunt person got hurt? The graboid's like, cut, ow, gosh. Is that an actual 2x4? Well, I did notice that it's barbed wire, and that thing sucked that barbed wire up. And my first thought was, these things are pretty resilient if they can just eat whatever. Speaking of resilient.
And I know you're defending Melvin a lot on this podcast, but I will say, I will say that for some reason you're a fan of Melvin.
No.
Melvin, when Rhonda's in trouble, Melvin freaking closes the door on his. Is that where Melvin lives, in that shed?
No, he lives.
I know, but he lives where they were doing the septic earlier. But he closes the door on Rhonda.
Yes.
So I'm sorry.
He doesn't have doesn't have adults that can help him.
He doesn't have a role model. I know.
He can't make these choices. The poor kid.
I know. You know? Yeah.
But Val can make choices because he takes a freaking pickaxe and hits that thing with it.
And I love that one of the snakeheads takes it out. It comes up over the head and pulls the pickaxe out of its own head.
Yep. That shows you that the creature has some, I guess those things can act as, I don't know, like arms, like you would have regular arms. They're doing things that arms would do, pulling out the pointy thing that's hurting you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Val has a good idea. It's like, take the pants off, right? Take her pants off, and they do. But this isn't done in some horror movies. They would do this and sexualize it, but this seems very practical, and we're not doing it to leer at her legs.
No, Art, we are not.
Yeah.
And I will correct myself that she has no boots and no pants now. And this is where they're running into the store, and we get the bop, 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 bop,
Yes.
bop. I was just so excited about that. I wasn't paying attention. But underwear comes up frequently in the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to point out that Rhonda has very sensible underwear. For the kind of person she is, I believe that would be her underwear of choice. And it's just simple white undies, full side undies, no bikini. You know, she's very, very sensible, and we're not gawking at it. This is the one underwear we get, and then she quickly will acquire pants because Wang has sizes for everyone.
Chang. Yes.
Wait, is it Chang or Wang? I keep
Chang,
in big trouble in Little China. What's in it, Wang? It's Chang. It's Walter, everyone.
Walter Chang.
Walter has anything you need at this store.
Yeah. I don't want to go too off in the weeds, but in a minute we'll see a lot of what he has in this store.
We will.
But so they go in, they help. And then Val's helping her with her wounds, and we cut over to Earl. Fred Ward gives her that smile. He's like, "Oh, hey, what do you say?"
14 people in the town. There's not a lot of this going on, but this bothers me a little bit in a movie. It's okay, but I understand it's makeup, and they can't take it off and put it back on every take. But he's fixing her up, and he's wiping things away, but he's not. The blood's still there. He patches her up. The blood's still there. She puts on her pants, Art. The blood is still there. I'm like, wipe it off, dude. Just wipe. Everybody's always dabbing because the makeup artist is like, don't ruin the effect. Okay, I'm just going to dab. I mean, I've been hurt before. I had kids that have been hurt. And you don't, you wipe the blood away and you put some bacitracin on and a Band-Aid. So, okay, sorry. But love is blooming, apparently.
Love is blooming. But they took out their truck, and Rhonda says, well, I have a truck. And they're like, I need 4-wheel drive. They need 4-wheel drive to get up. Because what the idea is, we'll send 2 people and they can go get help. Or, we got to get up to that pass, that granite pass there. And so now they're stuck because Val and Earl's truck is gone. They took out our radials. That's what it says. Yeah.
It likes to eat cars, apparently.
Yeah. But they got to be quiet because they're all kind of watching the voice. But remember that Pepsi cooler we talked about earlier, Erik? The Pepsi cooler that sometimes goes on the fritz, starts vibrating.
Big time.
Perfect timing.
And the town of Perfection sells a lot of soda because this thing is surrounded by crates of soda. So someone in this town is drinking a lot of soda, but they try to get at the plug to shut it off.
Yeah. Chang, Al, Earl, they're all over this cooler trying to get down. And I think Val gets the plug out. They get the plug out of the cooler.
But too late, because right in the middle of the store from under the ground, a graboid comes out and
it's violent. This is pretty violent.
This is a good violent. Grabs Walter.
Yes.
Walter.
Poor Chang. And it shakes him around, Erik.
He's doing a great job. He's inside. It's like a Jaws thing. He's inside the mouth.
They purposefully, looking up comments from the people, they did have the Quint attack from Jaws in mind with this attack.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's like, and then he gets pulled. in his entirety into the ground. So Walter gets eaten in his entirety.
Yeah.
So I guess the other graboids are a little lazy because they're leaving bits all over the place.
Or maybe they just got their fill and then they're just pushing their food around the plate.
They're
sort of
pulling
like
everything into their mouth, Art. Why are they leaving bits of sheep and head
yeah,
on
that's
trails? True. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pointing that out.
Okay, so he is a perfection resident.
He
Erik.
is. So that makes, we are down to 9.
Perfection, population 9.
Yeah, population 9. I'm doing it in chalk now because I'm just tired of changing I used to use red paint, but now it's just like, no, I'm just going to freaking write it on cardboard. 9.
But yeah, poor Chang, he's gone. So Victor Wong, you left the movie, but you have our popcorn bucket award.
Yes. Bye, Egg Shen. Should have used magic, buddy. You should have used magic.
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, these graboids would have went perfectly in Big Trouble in Little China. Down in the caverns.
In the ground?
Yeah, they would have been down in the caverns there.
But now the graboids, there's 3. They're attacking everyone from below. Everyone. And the Val and Earl make their way to the ceiling. There's one of those holes in the ceiling you get to. It's a flat.
But Rhonda's climbing the shelves.
Yeah. And Rhonda, what I love is it looks like the graboids are using their tentacles like arms to go and push that bookcase fall. Bum, 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 bum.
I have in my notes, they seem smart here. They seem like they're using it they kind of come up like 2 S's and they push against the shelf, like you said, to kind of knock it like dominoes down. And does one of them eat a can of spinach, Popeye's spinach?
That would be,
or was it
awesome if that happened?
No, it did, right? Didn't it? It was Popeye's spinach.
I don't know.
Or was it the Dinty Moore beef stew?
Now
one of them went kunk, one of them went and it like ate it. And it was on the shelf, and I couldn't tell if it was the Dinty Moore beef stew or the Popeye's spinach. So
I have to rewatch that bit. I want to hear, if it's Popeyes, I want to hear da-da-da-da-da-da. I got me strength to push them shelves. But she falls out the window. She gets knocked out the window, and we think she's kind of a goner because we don't see what happens. Right? But she's okay.
Yeah. Because they get up on the roof, and she's over on the water tower. There's like a water tower it's a wooden water tower like you'd have in like the Old West.
Yeah, for the whole town.
But I guess
for all 14 people, that's where you get your water. What?
I think it was, it seems to work. We'll see later. Because at first I was like, is this just something that Chang has up there to make it look like it's a little touristy Old West? And like, Yeah.
Well, here's where we're at people-wise. We got our 2 boys are up on the top of the general store, which is a flat surface. And then we got Melvin on the top of the shed. He makes his way to the top of the shed.
Yep.
Your favorite character. Right? And then we got her on the water tower. And then they're telling everybody else, get on the roof. Because everybody lives close, except for the doctor. He didn't live close. But so the mom and our pogo stick kid are up on their roof. And then we got the character we haven't even been thinking about at all. Nestor. He's on his trailer.
Mobile home. Yeah, he's got like a mobile home type of trailer.
Call it a trailer.
Trailer, yeah. But we cut back to Bert and Heather at their little compound. They have a little compound up on the hill, and they've come back because they've been out hunting they've been out looking for the graboids.
Yeah,
they went out on a hunting trip.
Yeah, they were looking for Rhonda too. They're calling
Rhonda.
Girl.
They were looking for Rhonda, but they said there's no sign of them, no sign of Rhonda, no sign of anything.
And you caught their license plate, right? The license. It's Uzi for you.
Yes.
Right. They had to pay a lot of money to get that license plate. You can't. That's a vanity plate.
Seriously, I don't think they would allow it. Possibly in some states, but.
Yeah, so
but Heather, as they're there, Heather's looking through binoculars over at the town, and she's noticing everybody's up on their roofs.
So they're using the CB. And now Bert, the Gummers, love that name, the Gummers are in there. It's like I guess they call it a rec room, but it's basically a cement basement. And if you think you're a survivalist, think survivalist basement. So all the windows that they have in there have this lock on the window. Did you notice that? There's a little lock. So they really were paying attention. They've got all these tools and everything. It's really cool. But they're in the basement. and they're going back and forth with the CB, and they're trying to tell them this is monsters, and they're under the ground, and they're and then I think this is what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So Heather, Reba McEntire, dumps what looks like ammunition shells into a shaker.
Yeah, with sand in it.
Yeah, and does that clean the shells so you can put more stuff?
Yeah,
you're
I think it's like
reusing the
to clean
shells,
it out.
right?
Yeah,
yeah, and of course, just like the soda machine, it's like ding 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 ding, making all this noise.
So back in town, they notice all the things start. It's great when they show it in a wide shot. You can see the dust plumes sort of going up, or it hitting things as it heads out across the plains.
And they even did.
And they realize they're heading
one shot of you can see one like a whale arcing the. They really did a good job. It really holds up. So good job.
And they realize in town they're heading for Bert and Heather. They're heading towards their compound.
All right, this is what I love about this scene where they're like, they're coming right for you. And the husband and wife team, they look at each other like, let's go. And they just start arming themselves with this is it. Yeah, let's do it. Because
they got
prepared.
gun lockers and
they are prepared. Yeah. And they have they have the tool thing where it's all those little holes that you put on the wall for your tool rack. And that thing goes, and then it comes right through the concrete wall. And
now, if you were watching this for the first time back in 1990, you might assume, oh, Reba and Bert are dead. They're the next ones that are going to go.
This would be a typical, they made all these plans, but they're going to die.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
But they just start unloading like the Predator Special Forces team into the jungle.
Yes.
These two start unloading into this graboid.
Yes, and I love the reveal of the wall of guns that they have. So if you can imagine a gun, they have it. They have Uzis, shotguns, machine guns, everything. And they just shooting into it. This is the one, I don't know if you noticed this, but just because I've seen it so many times, there's one shot they inserted of Bert Gummer from behind shooting at the graboid, and it's a blue screen. And
I didn't notice.
If you pause it, you can clearly see this guy has a lot more hair than
Michael Gross.
So I think it was for some reason an insert so they could show that they were in the same room together.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise you don't see that.
Yeah.
Because it was, I believe it was a miniature that they used for this. Awesome. You can't tell it all. But Reba McEntire uses a flare gun, and then Bert
opens up a glass case that has a big, long rifle in it. I don't know the names of it. You and I both aren't really gun people, but
Heather called it an elephant.
Yes, right. Yeah.
They kill it.
And this goes to, I think, why this movie lasts a little bit and had a sort of a whole second life, Erik, is because people liked it. There was a certain portion of the audience out there really was into this Bert Gummer and Reba part of the movie with all these guns and shooting this thing up, and they talk about guns. And
yes, I think interesting and also scary. we really jive with these guys.
Right.
But what I do like is for the monster, it does this thing where it screams in pain and hits the top of the ceiling and breaks the ceiling. So they really gave life to this creature before it died.
But Bert, he kills it. He does it. It's dead. And Bert has his great line. You broke into the wrong rec room, you bastard.
Yep. And this line is what they will use for his character they'll turn it into this caricature from now on, everybody.
The next line you're talking about?
Just that line that you just said, that is now Bert Gummer for every single movie. He just turns into an unbelievable person, but he's very believable in this one, I thought.
Because he has another one shortly after this where he tells the people in town on the CB, we killed that mother humper.
Mother humper because they had to change the word.
Yep.
Which worked because they use mother humper a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they killed one, not a member of the town, so we won't count but that's 2 graboids dead out of apparently 4.
Yeah. So there's two left. So Bert and Heather get to their roof. They get up on the roof and they're shooting down, but they can't really hit it. It's in the dirt. and they're realizing they can't really get it through the dirt. It's not, the bullets won't go in like that.
Yep.
And
they have a truck. It's more like a big SUV, but there's that truck. And then when we go back to where the general store, they can see that the snake tongues are like feeling around the side of the building at the base. And I love it. They name the graboid Stumpy because they can see it's that one. Like Stumpy's up to something. And what the monster figures out is it knows, maybe it can't hear them all the time, but it knows that they're up there. So it's trying to figure out how to take down the building at the foundations.
Yep. And so they start to burrow into the foundations of the houses. So everything's buckling and shaking and starting to sink the houses that they're trying to attack.
Yep. And then they go over to the mom and the kid's house, a little pogo stick kid. They're not even making noise and they're attacking that house too. So something's up. They got to be smart, right?
Yep. But Nestor only has his trailer. And they go after Nestor's trailer, and that flips over pretty easy. And Nestor's now on the ground.
Oh my God. All I can think of, Art, now is Jaws. It's another Jaws attack where the shark hits the boat and tips it over, Yeah. But he's smart. So they're like, get off the ground.
Yeah.
He's wicked smart. So he jumps on a tire. You know those giant tires from like a tractor?
He sits on it as if you would on a lazy river, right? Like on an inner tube. And then you hear off screen people going, "No, you got to get up higher, dumbass!"
Yep. And he gets sucked in through the tire. But unlike it, because it's PG-13, and I don't think we need it either. We don't see like a spray of gore because these things eat you, so they pull you in your entirety.
The goopy stuff we see in this is the graboids' blood.
Yeah, their blood is very goopy.
Yeah, goopy and brownish. Like it's really. But Melvin's now crying like a little baby on top of his
dead,
thing.
Right?
Nestor's gone. Yes.
Hold on.
Perfection.
Get my
perfection.
Now we've got 8.
Population 8.
Population 8, everyone. My God. That's
they're dropping like flies here.
Nearly half the population.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So then we see they get Bert and Heather's Jeep too. Graboid gets that.
Yep. And they're smart because the Jeep wasn't making any noise. So
they're learning.
Yeah.
They're getting smart. And then Val comes up with the plan. They can use the cat. That cat that we saw earlier, the caterpillar. The caterpillar. The tractor.
The tractor.
The big tractor. Because they call it the cat in the movie.
Yeah.
They say we can
It'd
use
be awesome
the cat.
if they had a cat in Tremors and it ate the cat and then spit him out. And it survives. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, they say we can use that because their reasoning is that is so heavy that this thing probably won't be able to take it down.
Right. Unlike
and it doesn't have tires. It couldn't blow out the tires. It's got a track on it.
But it did freaking take down the foundation of a house. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're digging, but they said so we can get that. But they said, but only 2 people can go on the tractor. But then they say, we have this trailer over there, but the tires are out. But Fred Ward, Earl says, we don't have to worry about that because the tractor can pull it without the tires, and it's like this big old rusty trailer.
Yeah,
and
it's almost like something you put coal in or something. It's kind of curved.
Yeah.
But it's far away, isn't it?
Well, it's a good direction. It's a great shot because they talk about it and they show it to us, but they kind of then do a quick zoom out back to them to show us the distance that it's at. Eric, I liked that just little note, and it gives us an idea of like, here's the plan. Zoom. But there's a problem.
Yeah, and that helps the audience.
That far away.
It helps you as a movie viewer when they do things like that because you go, oh no, right? Or, oh gosh, or when this reveals, you go, oh no, it's great. So good job.
It's a good little shot. I like that. And so they got to decide who's going to go for it.
Yep. Well, they got to distract him with a decoy first. And guess who happens to have extra equipment? It's the dearly departed Walter. He also has one of those little not an ATV, but it's like that. It's a 4-wheel thing.
I thought it was almost like a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, like that. It's kind of like that.
So, like a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, but it doesn't cut grass. Art. They don't have grass there.
And I guess it's conveniently parked right up against
against it. Yeah.
Right up against the house.
Well, the goal is for Miguel to
Yes.
start it and then, let it go on its own. And they have to do, our heroes have to do rock, paper, scissors to decide who's going.
Yeah.
And Val loses again.
Yeah, Earl. Yeah.
So
Val
Earl's like,
loses
well,
once
you
again.
lose. No, I choose. I'm going. He's like, okay. And then he basically like elbows Earl, gah, and jumps down like being a hero to go do it. So we now have more respect for Val too, because he's risking his life.
Oh, yeah.
And they both wanted to do it, which I'll point out is our not anti-heroes, but our reluctant heroes or dumb heroes. Both want to really help out.
Yeah. And so the tractor's launched. It's heading off. So we see that the thing's chasing the tractor. It's going. And so Val's running and the tractor hits a little divot or a little hill and tips over.
And
so the tractor stops dead.
So immediately the monsters turn around because they can hear Val running. And it's kind of funny because he's standing there on the ground with his boots, and one of them comes up next to him. They're like, don't move. And he's not moving. He has to lift one foot up because one of the monsters is looking for him, one of the tentacles. I thought that was cool. And there's also a fun POV of the monsters underground when they're traveling through the rocks again. They do that a few times, but they don't overdo it. So, but he's going to be...
They're getting closer and closer to him.
He's going to be eaten. Like, no way around it.
Yeah, and they don't know what they all start making noise, but this time the thing doesn't seem to take the bait.
Nope. Nope. So Rhonda, also a hero, which I love. She's not just like, help me. She is on that water tower that you talked about, and there's a pipe that goes down. I guess the pipe goes into the ground, and that's where they all get their water from. Ugh. What do you call it? The PSI or whatever that is must be horrible. The pressure, water pressure's got to stink. Yeah. But she decides very smart. She kicks the pole, the pipe, and breaks it. And then the water comes rushing down onto the ground. And they do turn around for that.
Maybe because it's so loud and rhythmic because the water's going like on the ground.
Yep.
And that attracts them.
Yep.
But they go right over. The difference I was wondering, Eric, is they're all up on top of the houses making noises. And maybe because the water was hitting the actual ground, it thought it was prey. That's what I thought.
Much more, yes. Look at us like, well, I think that the water was probably, because sound travels through the concrete, but not as much as, yes. A great shot, I have to say, of the tentacles, what do we call them, writhing in the water.
I have this written down here. I was like, it's good because you get to see them clean. They're not dusty. And this is the first time we can see them as if you washed them off. They have sort of like streaks, almost like a snake or something down the sides of them. They have like a color, different shades down the side. So you kind of get a different view of them because you're so used to them being dusty and brown.
Yeah. And
when they're coming out
pointing out that they are technically the tongues of the monster. They look very tonguey here because they're wet now. Really long. We never know how long the extensions are because the one that got cut off was at least 4 feet long. And they're so pissed off, they take the ladder away. I think they did on purpose, Art. I think they're like, you know what? Screw you, lady. You're not coming down. We're going to wait till you die. Yep, they take the ladder away.
And but meanwhile, Val gets the cat started, the tractor, and starts going. And you can see as he's driving, they're kind of biting the tracks under the cat, but it's kind of ineffective. They're not able to do anything to it. You can see they are attacking it though.
And the creatures can keep up with a moving vehicle, but also attack it with their tongues or their whatever we call them. So pretty interesting creature. And we still don't know what it is. I love that.
And so the idea is they bring they're bringing the tractor by the buildings and people are jumping down, getting off onto the trailer that's in the back, this big metal trailer. And it's so high up that I guess the snake things can't get up around it. I guess that's
Art. That's what we're going to say now because the movie needs it. Correct. Because they're super long, but
not that long, I guess.
Maybe they're just biting at the wheels because who knows?
Yeah. But we cut back. Bert. So they got to get up. They got to get Bert and Heather, who are up at their compound, and Bert and Heather on the roof. And we see that they're sawing off their exhaust pipes that are on the roof, the sort of PVC pipes, and then they're making pipe bombs out of it.
A lot.
A lot of them.
I'm going to say at least a dozen, if not more.
Where did they get all that PVC pipe?
They have it. They're survivalists. They're like, what?
Yeah.
We need PVC pipe just in case, honey. We need all this wire just in case. And probably the glue, the PVC glue that they got at the general store. R.I.P., Walter. R.I.P. And they're arguing. They go to pick them up. I love they're arguing over which guns to take. I don't know. This one has more power. Yeah, but that one you can fire faster. I don't know. And they're dumping all ammunition into the truck. They're like, here, take this.
Yeah.
And I guess
Bert's happy about it. He's like, it's a goddamn armored transport. Yep. That's what he calls it.
Oh, he's so excited. Yep. And I love also that they have to head for solid rock. And he's thinking, his bunker, his apocalyptic home that he's built. He's like, goddamn monsters from under the ground. Like he didn't think of that.
Right. And when he gets in there, Melvin wants a gun. Because they had thrown all these guns in, and Bert says, I wouldn't give you a gun if it was World War III.
Yeah, he doesn't give him a gun. So they have to head for solid rock. And we think they're pretty good because they see the shark and whale, I think is what we could do, is put these two things together. They're like underground whale sharks because you can see them, spurting up the dust. So they're way off. They think, okay, they're not coming after us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But lo and behold, Art, these little smart bastards, they made a trap. They dug loose soil and the tractor dumps right in it.
Oh, okay, you probably watched this shot. There's a stunt person as Bert Gummer riding in the payloader, the bucket of this tractor. And the whole thing goes like, boom, and falls forward, and he falls out of the bucket of the truck. I was like, it looked to me like a pretty dangerous stunt. I don't know.
Well, it was practical. So
yeah, but it's real. But
yeah, they did a good job with that. And now we realize how smart these critters are because they actually set a trap. So they got to be smarter. I don't know, were they like monkey smart right now? I can't decide where they are. Like they Jaws shark smart? Because you know how smart sharks are.
I think Val says at one point they're getting smarter by the minute. He says like it seems like every time you turn around, they're doing something more intelligent. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And Bert does one of the most intelligent things, I think. He's like, yeah, I'm going to use this bomb. So he takes a bomb, he lights it, and he throws it, and he's like, chew on this, suckers, or whatever he says. And these are what are they, like almost, they're a foot long with it's got to be 2-inch PVC pipe. So it explodes next to the trailer. But that sends the critters screaming from under the ground, screaming, and they go off, they leave. Yeah, super fast. And they think they're afraid. And then I think it's Rhonda goes, no, they're not afraid. They can't handle that sound. They have to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're throwing bombs.
Just the one
to keep them away.
Well, you know what's in the bombs is just a few.
Go ahead. Well, just a few household chemicals in proper proportions.
That's right. That's all you need.
That's what Bert says. Yep. Yeah. So they're running, and Rhonda lets out a swear and says, "Pardon my French."
A lot of pardon my French, yeah.
Which that's what Earl usually says through the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's Earl's line. But Melvin does get a gun from Bert as they're running away towards the rocks. Bert does hand Melvin a gun.
And just
because he needs to get Melvin out of the truck, out of the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Because Melvin's scared and he doesn't want to leave the trailer to go. They're like, let's go to get to a rock outcropping. And while these things are distracted, and Melvin's so scared, Bert says, "Here's a gun, so you'll be safe."
Yep. And as they're running, he tries to use it, and oops, there's no bullets.
And he yells, he goes, "Bert, you asshole!"
Yeah, I forget what Bert says, but you think I'd give you a loaded gun, dummy? And so here's a scene where they're just arguing back and forth. You know, it's that typical horror movie where everything's, we're all doomed. We're stuck on these rocks now. We just went on.
Bert's pissed because he's like, back at my bunker, we had food, we had water, we had We could have done a standoff there, you know. And then somebody's like, hey, Bert, these things are getting smart. They would have tore your place apart in like no time.
So it's just typical arguing, but it leads to Bert going, you know what I'd do if they come for me? I'll just take one of these bombs, light it, let them eat me, and then boom. And his wife is both like, oh, that's wonderful. And at the same time going, what is wrong with you, dude?
I liked her line. She goes, Jesus, honey.
Right. She's like, all right. Okay, take it easy, buddy. But that gives Earl the idea. He's like, wait a minute. Why don't we do that? Why don't we get them to swallow the bombs? So they decide they're going to go fishing. So what the idea is to take, remember, there's 2 graboids left. It's to take the bomb, light a long fuse, which is made with a cannon fuse. And they're like, why do you have so much cannon fuse? He's like, because I have a cannon. I wish they would see the cannon with it firing off. Oh! But so apparently Earl is very good at lassoing. So he lights it, throws it off the rock, and they slowly drag it. And that's enough for the graboid to be like, oh, this is lunch. So the graboid grabs it, pulls it in, and then ba-bloom.
It's a great little joke they do here.
It is.
Because they all go, yay! And the timing is perfect. Just at the end of their yay, all the chunks and splatter of the thing that just the graboid that blew up start raining down on them all that brown, gooey stuff.
Yeah, it looks like raw chicken.
Yeah, they're getting
really
like
good,
splattered with it. Yeah. That's
so they tried again.
Mm-hmm.
This time Val wants to do it, and he does it. And the monster, which is the last one, and it's Stumpy, by the way. Stumpy's the survivor here. Stumpy swallows it, and they're like, yeah. And then, just like the generator and the pogo stick, it spits it out. But I think,
back at them.
I think it's a trajectory. Like the monster's like, I know where to spit this, and it lands right on the bag of bombs, right on the bag. And so they all have to kind of get out of the way, and some of them have to get off the rock, and it explodes. I wanted to see a bigger explosion here because that was a lot of explosives. I think the rock should have been black afterwards. Like everybody's like got gunpowder all over them. Their hair's missing in some places. Like, what the hell?
So they all stand still, completely still, because now they're all off the rock, and they're all like, you know. So they're standing still. They're out in the field, and it comes up and it probes around and it goes back under. But Val says, I don't think we're fooling it.
Yes,
Val doesn't believe.
Val, Rhonda, and Earl are off the rock, and everybody else made it back. And they're screaming, la, la, trying to get it, and it is not. He thinks that it's really still there. Yeah.
Waiting for them to move. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't think they fooled it. And he says, and then also this is where Val says, so what if we make it to the rocks to Earl? He says, we'll be dead in 3 days. And I love Earl's reply. He's like, yeah, but I want to live for those 3 days.
Like, I got 3 days left. Why not? They could eat the leftover graboid that's on the rock because it's probably cooked by now.
So everybody's telling Val, throw the bomb and you guys can get back to the rock. Throw it and scare the thing away. It's their last bomb, though. It's their last bomb.
But Val's like, oh, nope, I don't, because they'll just, then what? So he's like, wait, I got an idea. And he starts running. And he starts picking at the fuse and making it short. He's like, I'm going to light this thing. I have an idea. And he doesn't have the lighter.
Yes. Because who has the lighter is Rhonda, right?
Rhonda, yeah.
Rhonda has the lighter.
So all three of them are running in a direction, having no clue what's going on.
Yes. And they're running towards the cliff. There's a cliff we see there.
Yeah, kind of like
they're gonna,
the one he peed off of in the beginning.
That
kind of like that.
It is exactly the one he peed off at the beginning. You see the same rock outcropping. You start to put it together. This is where they were at the beginning of the movie. And so Val's heading over, and they're running out of room to run.
Yep.
So they get to the edge.
Nothing to do. So he lights the fuse and he throws it past the monster. And Earl's like, you dummy, you missed. And it keeps going. And then there's an explosion. I remember last time when the bomb exploded, they screeched and ran off. So he exploded behind the last graboid, and the graboid's like, and starts coming like just beelining it for the cliff. Two of them take off, and Val stands there, and I still don't know why he had to stand there, to be honest. And it's coming right for him, and then great shot of you see the side of the cliff, and it smashes through the cliff, and whoo, full body shot of the critter, and it splats on the rocks below.
Head first. Right on there.
And breaks apart. I almost wanted it to explode like with fire. But
the brown goo everywhere and
Yeah. And
so
it's dead. So they got all three of them are dead, right?
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
And this doesn't tie in as well. I think they were trying too hard here, but he's like, I was sitting there and I was thinking, stampede. Like, how is this a stampede though? But they tied it into the beginning with the stampede in the cliff.
They did. Yeah. Which I said, I noticed my second time watching. I'm like, oh, they tied all this in when the movie started for my second watch that I did here. I was like, oh, that's funny. They're talking about a stampede at the beginning.
But saves the day. And I will tell you that we have 9 survivors. And remember, I said that our population's down to 8.
Yeah.
But there's 9 survivors because Rhonda. So out of the town, the population, I can stop scrawling now. So we have a population of 8, unless Melvin's deadbeat dad, who isn't counted apparently in the population, comes home. But he ain't coming home, Art.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 9 survivors, 8 out of our population.
Yeah.
4 dead graboids.
And they're all, and so we cut to Val and Earl are putting the new radial tires onto their truck because they're going to be heading out again. They're going to head out for their original plan.
Go to Bixby.
But we do notice just in the background, they don't spend much time. There are clearly police cars there and things. So obviously this is like some sort of cleanup, some sort of rescue has come or something.
Tourists back there too. I'm like, are there tourists back there?
I don't know. Is this a couple of days later, I guess, or something?
A few people there. And this is a major discovery, Art. This is a brand new species that they've discovered. So, Rhonda's
they're going to get in like, People magazine, but no, even that. National Geographic.
National Geographic's better. Yeah. Yeah, and I thought for a second that they had the critter, one of the one that they dug up, they said was in the truck. But no, the one they dug up is still there. They didn't put it in the truck. Yeah. So Rhonda's, I guess, going to get some fame and fortune from that. My guess.
Yeah, she's taken some pictures of. She takes a really good shot of Val.
I love
Val
that.
And Earl.
Yeah, he's like, oh, and then he smiles. He does a smile. Does his Kevin Bacon smirk?
Does Kevin Bacon thing?
Oh, Kevin Bacon.
She's taking that. But what we see here is you're like, you're supposed to be thinking, what's going on? Is Val gonna do anything here? Rhonda seems like she's wondering that too. And Earl is like doing his usual look on.
Yeah. He's making all the faces. And it's an awkward, okay, all right, well, okay. And then finally she's turning around to leave and Val just gets up the gumption to go over. And he gives her a kiss.
And it ends right there with their kiss and the credits roll. Yep. Like the credits roll over them kissing on the highway there. And not the original ending. The original ending was Val and Earl take off. They leave. So we saw everything. And they're driving down the highway. And Earl's kind of giving Val, a hard time. And then Val decides I'm going back for her. And they do a bang a U-turn and they head back for perfection. But test audiences were like, no, we want to see the
right. You got to see the kiss.
We got to see the kiss. We got to see them. But it was originally just going to end that way. So I think it's a better ending to have him kiss her.
Yeah, I understand they want a little bit extra there, but we don't need it. I thought you were going to say they were driving and alongside on the road is you see this.
No. They were driving and it was just going to be a different ending. It was just,
Yeah.
Just
here's what I like about the ending is that we don't see there's one more. We don't need that all the time. So thank you.
No.
And so it's done. Right?
Yeah, done. The movie came out and like I said, didn't do that good. Kevin Bacon assumed that was the end of his career. He was like, I did this one and this one didn't even do good.
It's like, I'm going to have to lean heavy on my musical ability. Maybe I'll start a band. That didn't work out.
But eventually, as Erik mentioned at the beginning, this went on to spawn a lot of sequels. And Kevin Bacon's not in any of them.
Nope. But Fred Ward reprises his role, and he has a love interest in the second one. If you guys decide, you know what, we want more Tremors, okay, maybe the second one, but it just falls flat because I'm just saying this one, the practical effects, it works so well. They start to stray from practical effects and go with CG a little bit. It's just not, you get disappointed with every single subsequent sequel. So just appreciate this for what it is. You don't need to know where they're from or what they're...
People should know Burt Gummer ends up being sort of the center of the franchise.
Burt Gummer is the character. He's like in Jaws. He's Shaw, basically. They go to him, for every... Yeah. But yes, let's just stick with this one. So we're done.
We're done.
What did you think?
Like I said, when I first saw Tremors, I was not probably the person that was going to be liking Tremors at the time that I saw.
But now, Art, that you've broadened your movie base,
I really enjoyed Tremors. It is a very feel-good horror monster movie. We pointed out you don't really dislike anybody in it except for Melvin for me. He's a little annoying. Melvin makes it through the movie, though.
That kid.
That kid. But I really enjoyed Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon's chemistry in this. I thought they were really fun. I liked the movie's effects, the creature effects, because it's so different to do a horror movie this way, where you're having these creatures that are just, they move through the dirt. It's just different than what we're used to seeing. And the way they came up with ideas, I like the tease they have of the snake tongues coming out. And at the beginning, you don't know. And it was interesting. I went back to watch the trailer for this movie originally, and because I'd seen some commentary from the directors. And what they said is they really wanted to keep it a secret as long as they could that these were big creatures under the ground. So if you watch the trailer, you would think that it's these snaky creatures attacking people. They don't reveal that big creature at all in the trailer. They don't show it ever. And so they said if you went to the movie, that first opening, maybe 15, 20 minutes, Erik, you would still think you're dealing with sandy snakes until you saw that first big creature, which I really appreciated. I thought that they did a great job building up to that and revealing it. I liked how everybody in the town sort of always is contributing something to what they're having to figure out. Everybody comes up with an idea here and there for what to do. Even Miguel at the end going like, oh, we can use the tractor. So it's this idea of a community. It's this small community, but they're all helping in a way to overcome this circumstance that they're in. So the movie has a good-hearted nature to it that way. And it also ties into the theme of these two guys at the beginning that they're thinking, we need to get out of here. We need to leave. What are we doing here? But then they just show that there is a community in this place. I think the movie was hinting at things. I know that's not the horror movie aspects. To get into that, I liked that they found interesting ways to do a 1-for-1 almost. I mentioned a few times in this podcast. So you're watching a shark movie. Like, how do we do this, but in sand with the open desert? We can use all these different ways, like you said, fence posts falling, or we can use dust plumes. We can show the dirt moving over it. We can show boards along a walkway going up, a scarecrow shaking and falling and sucked. They just find so many different ways to build up these creatures under the ground chasing you that I just really like the ingenuity of that. And I'll give them credit for it. I mentioned it once or twice in the podcast. This is a horror monster movie, and it is in bright, sunny daylight with just a vast expanse of landscape. So the fact that they can make it you're scared, like these things are under the ground, so you don't know where they're going to get you. So points for that too. So I actually really enjoyed Tremors. I will probably watch it again, I'm sure, in the future. I'm going to try and see if my wife wants to watch it. She doesn't like horror movies, but I think she could take this one. I think it's fun enough. But just to show you, Erik, I rented it on Amazon to watch it, and I purchased it. I went ahead and purchased it because it was on sale, and I said, because I'm probably going to watch this movie again.
Aww.
So I like Tremors. And I would recommend Tremors to people. Have a good time. It's a great movie. Yeah, it's a great little horror movie.
Awesome. I like all of that. I have no notes for you. I think the reason why I wouldn't have succeeded at the beginning is because it's not a horror movie in the sense of it's trying to scare you. It takes place during the day. There's a lot of comedy. So it's almost like could be an adventure movie almost. So, but I have to give kudos to all that you said with the sunlight and the way that they presented the monster, where it doesn't look bad at any given point. You're not like, you just love seeing the monster. And I think the ensemble works. I think the movie moves. There's no lacks where you're just like, even though it doesn't open with a typical monster biting you, just like American Werewolf in London. It just starts the story. It's awesome. So I love it. I don't know how many times I've seen it, but my mind is going to tell me to watch the other ones now, and I'm going to tell my mind that my mind can go basically jump off a cliff as far as that's concerned. And speaking of cliffs, I want to know that full circle, we talked about urine. So just so you know, that my opinion is the Graboid, Stumpy, when it crashed to the ground, it landed in Kevin Bacon's piss.
It stands to reason. I don't have any way to refute that, Erik.
No, you don't.
I really don't.
I mean, maybe it's all dried up. It's dried up for sure. But it's
any way to refute that. Yeah.
The remnants are there.
And just to be clear,
yeah.
You have said you have watched all of the sequels, Erik?
You don't have to say that again, Art.
Okay.
You don't have to tell everybody again.
I just want to make for myself. I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, that's clear. The little reference to what we don't know if they fly or whatever. Oh, they do. They do all kinds of stuff. And just if you're thinking about Tremors 2, I'll just give you one word will make you think twice. Okay. So we have Graboids.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you don't want to see a movie that has a monster called an ass blaster. Just throwing that out there for you guys. Maybe think about it.
Okay.
Think about it.
All right.
Asshole.
Think about your choices. So there we are. So Erik, you'd recommend Tremors?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would too.
Yeah.
If only we had a rating system, like a rating system set in place so we could just assign it a rating here.
Well, you know, Art, you're thinking about today and I'm thinking about Wednesday. So that's how far ahead I am. But we have a rating system. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. What is it?
It's just one that we've settled on, period. And it's yeah. And it's I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Okay, good. I don't think I was going to go in another direction. For some reason, I thought.
What? You thought I was going to be like? What? Say it. What do you think our rating system is?
I don't know what I was.
I mean, normally I'll give you a few, but I'm like, it's Kevin Bacon.
No, yeah, it is.
Did you think I was going to say something different? Like specifically Kevin Bacon parts? No. It's 8 out of 10 degrees of Kevin Bacon. But in a better, it's better to be further away because you admire his beauty.
Yes, true. All right, Erik.
That's it.
Well, that's what we thought. That's what we can use. We can use that. Thank God that's the one because we can use that for every movie. That we do.
Single
one. Every single movie. Mm-hmm. Erik, well, I had a lot of fun talking about Tremors with you this week. And we want to know what everybody else thinks about Tremors, too. You can let us know. You can contact us through our website, midnightcinemapod.com. Please check us out on any of your podcast platforms. Subscribe to us there. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of those platforms. And if you're there, rate and review us. It gets the word out about the podcast, and we really appreciate it. And we like to hear what you think. So, Erik, had a great time this week, and I can't wait until next week to watch another movie with you here and And is there something going on there?
No, I left my fridge on. It's really loud.
Oh God, yeah, you might want to get that checked. It's vibrant. Is something under you? Erik, you're being pulled down. Erik, are you going down? Erik,
Blaster!